Hi DIY fans, let's turn this laminated pine board into a laptop tray or table. That's right, you can use it as a tray or a table for the edge of the sofa. Cut your laminated pine board into these various sizes. You can cut your pine board yourself, or you can get a home improvement store to cut the board for you. These are the tools and materials that you will need. First things first is sand down your pieces of wood, the surfaces and the edges until smooth. Then use a pencil and mark out your guidelines for drilling. I am using a countersink bit that will not only drill the pilot hole, but also countersink the hole so the screw head sits flush. I've marked out where I want to drill in the guidelines, and now I'm using my power drill with the inserted drill bit and drilling the holes. Do this to both edges of the surface top. Now we're turning our attention to the sides of the tray. Because I don't want handles sticking out, I want to carve out handles in the actual sides. So I've made a template, I'm using a hole saw to create the holes. I've measured out the center and it's all of equal distance, and then I've made the markings of the center of the drill bit in the hole saw. And what I'm doing is I'm just marking out on each piece of wood so it's exactly the same, and that's why I find it really useful to use a template. I'm using some scrap wood under the wood that I'm working with so I don't ruin my work surface, and I'm drilling the holes. Make sure you drill all 4 holes, and also with a hole bit you have to take out the carved out piece of hole out of the drill bit, which is not as hard as it seems. All 4 holes are drilled, and now we can move on to the next stage. Now I'm just drawing a straight line that joins the edges of the 2 circles. Next, I'm using my jigsaw to carve out on that line and join it with the circle. And voila, I have a cut-in handle. Do the same to the other side, and then give it a good sanding to make sure the edges are smooth, and then grab a dowel or something round and wrap sandpaper around it so you can get in the interior. Now the sides are done, we can now assemble our laptop tray or laptop table. First, apply wood glue to the joins. Make sure that everything is square before you screw in the screws and attach the whole thing together. I'm using some clamps and a speed square to just make sure everything's sitting at 90 degrees before I drive in those screws. And then I'm applying some wood filler to fill in those holes. Once it's fully dry, you can grab some sandpaper and sand smooth. And the final stage, I'm just applying a clear wax onto my tray because I want to keep it looking natural and pine, but you can paint and stain it any color you want. Now it's ready for use as a tray for on the sofa, or a laptop table for the side of the sofa. Nifty, hey? And you can also probably check those morning emails in bed with your cup of coffee. I hope you enjoyed this DIY project. Remember, keep smiling and DIYing.